Hello, good morning. Just adjusting the camera. Welcome back to another live stamping session this morning here at the Simply Pretty studio in Gloucestershire. I thought I would drop in today. I did mention yesterday on my live that I may well come back with some more shares for you. Obviously we've had new mini catalogue go live recently. Sorry, my train of thought just totally went then. I'm going to check I'm live in the right place because it's always a really good move. I think I am. And turning off the sound. So yeah, I'm live in the right place, so that's a good start. So with the new release of the mini catalogue, the July to December, which came out this month, so it was a little delayed. We've also got our second celebration of the year, which is just amazing. Never had that before. So lots of lovely free offerings for you to choose from. I thought I would come back on today. Yesterday I was creating with the Peaceful Deer set, which I absolutely love. And I've got a couple more projects using that set, but today I thought I'd come back on and share something with the Delicate Dahlias. So it's brand new to me. I only inked it up yesterday for the first time. I'm just creating one card for you today, so I'm not going to be on here for long. Comments popping up. Good morning, Kay. How are you? It's your first time on one of my lives and you're happy to be here. Well, I am happy to have you, so thank you for stopping in. It's always good to have a bit of moral support when you're sat here behind this camera. Jacqueline, good morning. And Elaine, how are you doing? How is everybody? Hope you're all okay. I am good, Elaine. I've got a busy week. Family event out in the garden on Saturday. We've got a baby shower for Coles, although they're calling it a baby sprinkle. I don't know if that's a new word. So I have got lots to do. I think I should have this week employed a gardener and a cleaner to give me a hand. And I've got 2 classes tomorrow as well. So busy, which is nothing new for me. I think I thrive on being busy. So, Kay, you're good. That's good to know. Brilliant. Okay, so let me turn you down and then we can have a quick look at the product that I'm using. Elaine, you're going to Spain tomorrow. Wow, you lucky thing, your girls' holiday. You besties have so much fun. Make sure you stay safe, of course. But just chill, enjoy the time and have a really lovely time away. So super exciting. Okay, so let me turn you down. Sorry, I am stroking the little man. He sat down here by me. As soon as I came on and said hello, he came running up the stairs. You probably heard him coming in. He came running up and he's been sat by me waiting for cuddles. So that's all he wants. And then he'll go. Once I start creating and ignore him, he'll go. So right, excuse the palm of the hand. Let's turn you down. Get everything set. Move that one a bit. Have a little zoom in. Oh, it doesn't want to. There we go. Wait for the catch up to make sure. Oh, that's handy. My MacBook has gone into twirly whirly mode, which isn't the best. Let's zoom a little bit more. It's not going to let me. Right, I'm just going to have to refresh my Mac a minute. That's it. It's caught up. Okay, how are we looking? I might come down in a little bit. Let's just straighten that up. On a bit of a crook. Zoom a teeny bit more and then we should be there. Let's grab a bit of sellotape to get that grid paper down. The weather's a bit strange out there today here. It's really breezy and cloudy, and then the sun's been out and it's been really warm, so it's very changeable this weather, but if it stays dry, that will be good. If it can stay dry for Saturday, for the garden event, that would be excellent. Okay, we've got some lighting going on. So the Delicate Dahlias, such a beautiful set. It is free when you spend £90 during our celebration promotion. So until the end of September. This is our brochure. Most of you probably have your copy from me now. If you don't, if you're a customer of mine and you would like one, please get in touch and I can arrange that. We have various lovely items in here, mostly that are free when you spend £45. So we've got the Bedazzling paper, we've got the Penguin Playmates DSP. I'm waiting for this set to come because I can't wait to have a play with this one. So the Feels Like Home stamp set, which is beautiful. It's just screaming out to be coloured. We've got the beautifully penned paper, which I have shown you a sneak peek of on here, along with the peaceful prints. Then, of course, we have the sheep. You will have caught me creating with the sheep, I'm sure. If not, you can head over to YouTube or scroll back through here and find the recording on that. So you've got the dies as well. So what I love about this product is that you don't have to spend your £90 all in one go. So you can split your purchase and get the stamps with one order and then the dies with another. And they're really fun. I've also got the textures and frames. I've got that, but I've not actually inked it up yet. So I really need to get and create something with that. Then one of the £90 free items is the Summer Shadows dies, and it coordinates with the Shaded Summer stamp set from the annual catalogue. So that's a really good set of dies. I do have that one. And then, of course, we've got the Delicate Dahlias. So beautiful. There's going to be so many more things I can do with this, but this was just my first play with it. Nothing too tricky, I don't think. Bit of fussy cutting. So the stamp set itself, it's a 2-step stamp set. You've got 12 stamps in. You can see you've got an outline image that is just waiting to be coloured in. But if you're not so confident with your colouring, of course you've got the, like what I call the solid stamp that just instantly fills in the colour for you. And as you can see from the image, it's kind of graded with depth. So, and they come as a set like this. I've pulled this one out ready. Do need that one as well. So let's take it out while we're here. Absolutely love, oh, not that one actually. Today, that one, the solid one. And we'll pull out the flower as well. And I'll grab my greeting after. So a really fabulous set. You've got these little tiny leaves as well, which are good for, you know, when you have that little accident when you put a fingerprint of ink on your finished card, little things like this cover up those little accidents. This is my colour combo. Got Pale Papaya, Soft Succulent and Soft Suede with a bit of Whisper White ink as well. And I'm also using, I haven't taped my grid down yet, also using the Versamark. So let's just get straight. Tape you down. Hope that's somewhere near. Okay, I've already mounted my large stamp. Let's bring in my kits, or kit rather. So what are we all up to today? Elaine, I expect you're packing. Packing your suitcase. I believe it's incredibly warm over there at the moment. We had Janet popping on yesterday. I'm not sure which part of Spain she is from, but she said it was very, very warm. So I'm just going to grab a couple of other bits. I did share these with you yesterday, but I'm going to be using some of the Craft 6x6 paper. That is in the new mini catalogue. You get 20 sheets in this pack for £5.50. It is super value. Then I'm also using another Celebration free item, just a slither of this one. And I haven't cut it yet, so I will be cutting. Let's get a piece out ready. So I'm going to be using a little bit of that. And it's very sturdy. It's called a speciality paper, but it's very, very solid, a very thick piece. So be using that as well. Right, let us start, first of all, with my base. So Whisper White, that's a thing of the past. I haven't had any Whisper White for months. So basic white cardstock. The trouble is it's ingrained in the brain, isn't it? These colours, they are there forever. Right, what I'm going to do is pull in my blending brush and some pale papaya ink and just add a bit of colour to the base of my card. You see me do this all the time. Let's just turn that. I don't want to pick up any of that blue because it's surprising, it's happened before with me that you can pick up a bit of colour that's on your grid paper, especially if you've just recently popped it down on there. So I'm going to just work in a circular motion, pick up ink on my brush, and then I'm going to take off the initial, like the harshness of it, and then just work it in gradually to start with and go down gently, and then press a bit harder, and then I will repeat. So take off the initial harshness. Who loves these brushes? A little bit more, I think. By the way, excuse the condition of my nails. They're looking awful at the moment. Gardening is taking its toll on them. And the soil stains underneath my nails as well. So they look kind of grubby, but they're not. I have really cleaned them really well, but I cannot get the staining out from underneath. So, Kay, you love the blending brushes. Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? They just add something to an ordinary background, but they are so useful for so much more. There are so many different techniques using them. Right, the other thing I've pulled out is my soft suede Stampin' Right marker. And I'm just going to add some splat. I think this one is running a little dry. How much do I want? I want it to stand out. I think that will do. It's kind of subtle. Morning, Kim, or should I say evening? How are you? Thank you for stopping by. So I didn't, I was going to go live earlier, but I didn't know if I was going to be seeing the grandchildren this morning. So I was kind of holding off until I knew what I was doing. And then I thought, live at 11, that would be good. That would be good. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side for the moment. And I'm going to pull in some basic white. Have we got a clean side? Yeah. And then the large outline image of the dahlia. So not the solid one, the outline. I'm going to take my Versamark and ink it with my Versamark. I have 2 or 3 Versamark ink pads. They tend to get, those of you that have got one, they do tend to get quite dirty from embossing, and all sorts of things get trapped in there. So this one doesn't look too bad. I've re-inked it as well, so because I was playing with it yesterday and doing a bit of gold embossing, and it wasn't coming out that well. So I always find when you're inking up with your Versamark and it is very, very sticky and almost your stamp is sticking to the block, the stamp pad, then I think that is the time to add a bit of ink refill to it. So because my stamp is larger than my ink, I'm going to work by the opposite way around of adding the ink this way. And then what I've got, another scrap of paper ready. So I'm going to stamp that one down. Oh, I'm not going to yet. There's one more thing I need to do. I'm going to turn that over. So this is an embossing buddy, and it just adds, before I move that about, I'm going to hold that up. I think you might be able to see. It's like talcum powder that comes out of it. And basically, when you do this before you emboss, before you heat emboss, it takes away the static. I'm sure there's plenty of ink on here, but I'm just going to redo it. I'm just going to stamp that one down. Give it a nice firm press. It is a very sticky ink. I'm going to pop this piece of scrap underneath, and I've got some white embossing powder. It does have a bit of dazzling diamonds in it from somewhere along the travels. I'm just going to tap that off. You can see, I hope you can see, there is a bit of dazzle in there. Just do that bit there. I think I might have missed that bit. And then I can just pour that back into my pot. And hopefully none has escaped onto my desk. I'm going to move that out of the way. So we've got this lovely embossed flower, dahlia. I'm just going to heat it up. So I'm not sure how the noise will react, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me talking over. But I just want you to see the process of it heating. When I turn my heat tool on, I always like to let it warm up properly when I've not used it for a little bit. So, and usually the best way of doing that is looking down the barrel carefully, and when it's red inside, then I think it's ready to use. So let's just give this, hopefully you might be able to see the change. So this, bear in mind, this is just basic white cardstock. This is not our watercolour paper. I will be sharing something with the watercolour paper, not today. Don't know if you can see that changing colour there. So basically the heat is just melting the powder. I think we're all done. I love that there's a bit of dazzle in there. So it looks very creamy against the white, but once we colour it in, it won't look too bad. Okay, so next I'm going to have to sit down for this part. I'm going to chop off the remainder of that. Then I'm going to colour it in. And I'm going to use my Pale Papaya ink pad, but first of all I'm going to give it a little squeeze. Sorry, just catching up with comments. Let's give it a harder squeeze than that. The new ink style ink pads are definitely trickier to do this. Of course you could add a bit of ink from a refill bottle. That would work equally as well. And it's at this point that I claim that I am no watercolour expert whatsoever. I'm just kind of experimenting and playing. There's no specific way of doing this. And also the important thing to remember is this is not watercolour paper. So I am not going to be loading this with lots of water like we would do with our fluid paper, because it will just buckle and pill and it won't look very pretty. So I want to apply minimal water. Now these are called aqua painters. They are, when it's stained inside, they are very old. They're not even called aqua painters anymore. I think they might be called watercolour brush in the catalogue. but mine are very old. They don't work very well now. So when you fill the, like this bulb with water and you squeeze it, it doesn't come out. So what I do is I take a trusty goo pot, fill it with water, and I'm literally using this as a paintbrush. So let's just make a bit of room. And all I'm going to do, as I said, I don't want to apply too much water to this. So, because I don't want to soak my paper. So I'm going to do a very light, hopefully you can see. Now it's very tricky for me to see what I'm colouring. Might have to stand up even. And I'm just going to kind of fill in, not even really being too careful about this. And because I've embossed, I can go over the whole thing. I hope that you can see this. I would like to zoom in a bit, but you know it bothers me. Let me have a go. You may well see my ceiling. Just wait for that to catch up. So it's really watery. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. When I say watery, I mean it's a very, oops, I went right over the edge then. It's a very washy colour that I'm using. That's what I'm trying to say. Not necessarily watery, because I don't want to add too much water. You can probably see how it's just started to bow a little bit. And I'm just quickly, there's no technique to this, I'm just kind of filling in the whole of the flower. This is definitely not the best brush to be using. I need to order myself some of the new ones. And the only disadvantage of colouring like this is that you cannot move, because it's not watercolour paper, you cannot move the colour around as easily. So what I'm going to do is just pull a bit of, I'm trying to do this so you can see, pull in a bit of deeper colour and just quickly add that over this side of the flower so that it blends with the other side. So I don't want one side looking. Just see if I've missed any pieces. It's hard doing this standing up, but because of the light, I'm getting like a reflection from it. I think that's okay. Just got like a bit of a darker patch over here. Let me hold that up just so you can see how simple was that to do. Nothing tricky. Hope you can see that because I've zoomed right in. I'm not sure where my angle is. And then what I thought I could do is just add, I'm just going to dip a little bit more water and then pick up from the darker part some more like intense colour and just add it to the ends of the petals. I think we often feel slightly intimidated by images like this that need colouring in, and I think the thing is to just kind of have a go and play and experiment. There's no right or wrong way of how it should look. You don't have to like, it doesn't have to look exactly how a dahlia would look. It's a bit intense there, but so just adding a little bit more water. I think I've pulled you right out of shot. So when I'm adding water here and then picking up a bit of intense colour from the other side of the ink. just want to sort of make the edges of the outer petals slightly darker, and then maybe just a few on the inner. Like I say, I am definitely no expert with watercolouring. It's just have a play and see what happens. Just blend that a bit. And as I've said, because I'm just using basic white, because not everybody has watercolour paper, and as long as you don't apply too much water, you can paint with your ink. Pale Papaya is lovely, isn't it, Kay? It's definitely one of my favourites. You know I love all of the new in colours. Okay, so I'm going to just set that to dry for one moment, and it will dry slightly differently. I'm going to close up my ink pad so that I can use it. And then from the stamp set, let's put the lid on that aqua painter, move it to one side. I want to do a couple of leaves. Now, I know it's not going to let me zoom out. Oh, it did then a little bit. We don't need to be quite so close now. Okay, I think that's okay. And then I pulled out the solid image. There is a lovely lined image that would work well. I mean, this would be lovely coloured with your blends as well. But I wanted this image just on its own. And I think I want 3 of those. Look how defined that is. You've got, you know, a gradient of shading there. It's very, very clever. We'll do that one up for the moment. And then pull back in the Pale Papaya, and then I pulled out the solid, smaller flower, which I think is a lovely addition to this stamp set. And we'll have 3 of those like that. Okay, so really beautiful. Of course, you've got the outline one here, so you stamp that one first and then add your centre if you don't want to colour in. But I didn't want that effect. I wanted to show something quite simple. That was my plan. Just gonna grab a little drink and check the comments. Kate, you and me both. I wish this stamp set had dies. Stampin' Up, if you are listening. We would love dies to go with this. Of course, it's only a celebration set, so it's not going to be around forever. But then again, when you earn this stamp set for free, who would not want to have the dies forever to go with it? So I'm going to cut out one of each, and I will do those later. I've already done a bit of cutting out because I know you don't want to sit and watch me fussy cutting. And then you get a close-up of my awful nails. My nails are so porous. Not good. It's always tricky to see behind that bit of flower, leaf even. But I love the grain on this, like the, what would you call it? Like the veins of the leaf. So nothing rocket science about this. Literally just stamped it down, not colouring it in, or I wanted the main focal point to be the dahlia, like the watercolouring technique. And then we'll just trim around this flower, which is super easy to cut around. Of course, remember, you can stamp things like this directly down onto your base layer of your card. You don't have to kind of make them 3D. You could do like a 1 or 2 layer project, but those of you that know my style, there's always lots of layers. It's strange, isn't it, how we adapt to the way that, you know, we like to create. We're all so different, and that's the great thing. Quite a few of you on here this morning. Consider I'm just popping in, so if anybody is dropping by, say hello. I'd love to know you're there. Okay, next, the painful cutting. So it's still a little damp. I could heat it, but I'm just going to start with cutting, and it's tricky to see around because you've got like a white edge and a white edge, but I'm not too worried about leaving, oh, that was a bit of a rough edge, about leaving a bit of a white gap because it adds to the effect. Let's go down in that little nook. So if I get a bit close to my embossed line, it doesn't really matter. Lots of twisting and turning. So sorry that you have to see me do this, but it gives me a bit of an opportunity to chat. So the reason I've been on live again today is because mainly we've had release of the new mini catalogue, which is gorgeous if you've seen it. If you've not, you can head over to my website, kerrytims.co.uk. If you click up at the top, you can click on the catalogues button, and that will take you to a PDF download. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be more than happy to get a catalogue to you in the post. Going as quickly as I can. I think on screen it looks a lot paler than what it looks like in real life. So yeah, and the reason I'm popping on, I knew I couldn't come on Saturday because of the baby shower, and I really wanted to share more of our celebration offerings because they're not around for that long. You know, we're halfway through August already. I don't know where the time is going, and by the end of September they will be gone. So I want to share as much as I can. Right, where was that rough edge? There. Let's just smooth that off a little. So there's quite roughly cut, but to be honest, it's not going to stand out that much. So I have left a little bit of a gap around my embossing. I've got a little bit more stamping. Let's bring that back in. Now, where is my other stamp? I think I've put it back on my shelf. Just bear with me. I want to use this little dotty stamp from the Merriest Moments. Oops, someone's trying to escape. Always seem to be going to that stamp set at the moment. And also I need a slither of this. So let me just take a very skinny slither. That was very skinny. Might go a little bit wider. Just a tinsy bit. Just help me with adhering it. And I'm going to cut it just short of this panel here. Like that. And then I'm going to stick it down, and then I know it's there. Hello Vicky, how are you doing? How are you coping with your lockdown? My Tombow is still going as well. Oh, picking up a skinny strip is tricky. Oh, and then it goes just where you don't want it to. I'm not worried about that. We can rub some of that off. So just sticking that down as straight as the eye can see. You're still hanging in there, that's good to hear. Good to hear, keeping busy. Keeping busy and keeping online sociable, I think that's the key, isn't it? Okay, this can now go down onto my base. Let's move that mat out of the way. And my base is 5 3/4, and I've just cut this strip of craft paper to 5 1/2, just so it's slightly shorter. Yep. Keep on crafting. Carry on crafting. Keeps us happy, doesn't it? Okay, just lining that in. The bit of wiggle room that Tombow gives us. And then this dahlia that I coloured in with like a bit of a watercolour wash, but not too watery. Let's just add some dimensionals behind it. I'm going to pop it roughly in the centre, over a little bit maybe, of the card like that. So we've got the background going on. Morning, Janet. Oh, is it muggy? Only 28 degrees. Oh, bless you. So Elaine was on here earlier, and they're heading on their girly. Are you going for a week, Elaine, if you're still on here? But they're heading in your direction for a little trip away. I think their annual girly holiday, which is very exciting. It would be nice to get away. So I pre-cut some of these ready. So let's just give these leaves a bit of curl. What are you up to this morning, Janet? Trying to keep cool, I guess. I find the heat so draining. It's very wearing. I can hear the UPS man. Their vans have got a very distinct noise, haven't they? Has anyone noticed that? Not that I stalk him, because I don't see him that often, because he's very good and he leaves my parcel in a safe place when I'm not here. So, right, I'm going to pop some leaves behind this flower. So, bit of Tombow on the spine. And maybe one right next door to it. Got a bit of glue leakage there. And then we'll pop another one down here just to like balance it. And then my flowers. You're trying to tidy up, Janet. Just going to pop those two in under there. Tomorrow is Major Meteor Night, and you've got 14 for late supper, a swim, and watch the meteor showers. Oh, so much fun. That's lovely. There'll be a bit of wine involved in that, I'm hoping, as well. How lovely. I guess you've got a very entertainable house now, haven't you? And we'll pop one up here, just poking out at the top. I'm going to do nothing else to those flowers. One little finishing touch, also got to do my greeting. The Whisper White Craft Ink, I was telling the other day, this is so old. I mean, it doesn't look very white, does it? But it's quite inky. I use a bit from around the edge. I just want to add lots of wine and beers. Yeah, perfect. Using this little dotty stamp from the Merriest Moments, I'm just going to pick up a bit of ink being careful not to get it on my block because I don't want it to go anywhere else on my card. And I'm going to pop one there, one up there, and then maybe one down here, like that. I think I could have gone a little heavier on my splats as well, but it's too late now. And then for my greeting, I thought I'd pull in soft suede because it kind of teams nicely with the craft. I've got a leftover scrap from cutting inserts for my card kits that is just the right width. I have so many scraps this size and I do use them all the time, but I don't think I ever get through them on my own. I normally end up giving them away. What am I looking for? A greeting. I think I'm going to go with the thank you kindly, which is what I did on my original. I love that we have a sympathy one here because this stamp is just perfect for those kind of cards that we have to send out now and then. And it's always good to have one of these greetings in your stash. And they're oh so happy for you. That covers so many different occasions, doesn't it? So, and you inspire me. I love that. Absolutely love it. So we'll have thank you kindly. A really nice script or style of font on this one. So there we go. And we'll just ink that in the soft suede. Pop it straight down. Well, this strip is a little bit skinnier than my original. I'm going to have another go. Oh, my card is bowing. I feel like I missed that one a little bit. Can you see we've got like a bit of an ombre effect going down there, which is okay. But when you're fussy like me, you like it to be right. I question myself, is there anyone else as fussy as I am? I'm surely not, that stuck to me, I'm surely not unique. I do annoy myself that I like things to be just so, but it's what makes me feel comfortable. Something isn't right, it bothers me, so I have to correct it. And then what we're simply going to do with this one is pop a dimensional on the left side, a little bit of Tombow on the right. We're just going to hover it over this side of the card. I think that's straight. And then to finish, oh, I'm getting very low on these, the champagne rhinestones. Hello, Belle. I'm not fussy, just like things a certain way. I thought you were talking about fussy cutting then. I do, yeah. Just like things to be just so. Cannot help it. Where's my take your pick tool gone? There it is, right where it should be. And I kind of ingrained that in my son as well. He's slightly OCD about things, so. Kim, you do card surgery to make it right if you don't like my first attempt. I do that as well, guys. Although, do you remember I showed you the sheep card that I didn't like the other day? I haven't pulled that apart, I've left it. And I thought next time someone's here, if they would like it, they're more than welcome to it. It was just, I couldn't really do any surgery on it. It had gone beyond that because it was complete. So let's just pop a couple of these down. I am placing an order today. So if any of my customers are watching and there's anything you would like to put an order through and earn this a beautiful stamp set for free, get in touch with me and I can add your request to my order. I think we'll put you, oh, now I'm undecided. My flower is in a bit of a, let's just put you there. Oop, stuck to me. be fine. Let's put those away because I don't want to lose any of those. It's part of my charm. I don't think I'm very charming, Belle. I know I'm a bit of a waffler and I talk a lot. Sometimes I talk way too much, and I'm really good at, you know, when you quite often want the short story, you never get the short story with me, you know. It's always the full detail. Why is that? Why can I not just explain something just briefly? Okay, so let's just have a closer look. I was really pleased with how this came out. I think it's really, really simple in my world. There is nothing too complicated about that. Now, of course, if you don't have the heat tool, you could just stamp that outline image with the Memento ink and colour it in with your blends. You don't need to emboss, but I am playing around with this particular image to see the different ways that it can be coloured in. I have actually stamped it. Let me show you. I have stamped it in Memento Black, and then I've coloured it using that stamp. So really, really simple stamping, back to the roots of stamping an outline and filling it in. And look how defined that is as well. It gives the shading. That fill-in stamp is just beautiful. Thank you, Kay. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Stephanie. You're enjoying the card. Thank you, Kim, as well. So kind of you. Belle, there's never a short story here either. We definitely are life's embellishers on all cards and in life. Yeah, very, very true. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It was a quick fly-in for me. What are we doing? 48 minutes past, so not too bad. I'm super excited to play more with this stamp set. Don't forget, it is yours free when you spend £90. And I do appreciate £90 is a lot of money. But this is so worth it. So worth it. And also remember, another great deal is joining my team. You're going to hear me talk about this all the time. In all the years I've been a demonstrator, I've never really spoken about the opportunity of doing what I do. So I will talk about it every time I come on. I will always mention it. So at the moment, during celebration, when you join my team, you can choose one of these 12 bundles to add to your kit, free of charge. So something not to be missed. Now, I am not sure when I will be back. I've got a lot to do around here over the next couple of days. I am home alone Sunday, so maybe we could have a Sunday share, a Sunday morning share. Let's see how things go. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Please take care, everybody. And I'll be back with you all very soon. I'll try and give you a bit more warning next time as well. So Elaine, thank you so much. I'm sure it will be fine. The weather isn't looking too bad, and because we're going to be outside in the garden, you know, it needs to be dry at least. So cloud, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm just very anxious about the whole thing. You know, there comes that OCD again, worrying about everything. But it will be fine. I'll just be glad when it's here now. It will be fine. Elaine, safe travels, my lovely, to you and Deb. Have an amazing time. Enjoy all those cocktails and chill. And I will catch up with you on your return. So thank you, Kay. And I'll go now because you know what it's like. I can never say goodbye, can I? I'm always waffling on about something else. So bye, my lovelies. Take care. And I'll be back with you all very soon. Cheerio.